wrestle when I was 6. I got beat up a lot of crying. But then I slowly started finding my way, and I never looked back.
The sport of wrestling and a sport that loves you and gives back to you is something that I believe is very strong and very, very powerful to have. And I think that's something that has driven James Green until this day.
How I got introduced to wrestling, I was playing football, and one of my teammates, his dad, ran our wrestling program and passing out flyers. It's like, hey, football's almost up, wrestling just getting started. You guys should come out and give it a try. At the time, I didn't want to do it. My dad, he wanted me to be active, so he said, yeah, for sure, we'll be there. Next thing you know, I was in the wrestling room, and I'm gonna get my high C better, I'm gonna get my single leg better. And then you create your own wrestling, your kind of brand and what you're about. Hello, my dad's name was James, James Green, and I'm James Green III. My dad, he was awesome. My dad, he was like a student of the game. He's just digging up information. He's recording other matches. Matches that I lost, he was recording the people that beat me, so we were studying at home. In the world of sports, you have these crazy sport parents. I would probably say my dad was one of those, but at the time when I was growing up, I saw it as me spending time with my dad. He just wanted the best for everybody. Unfortunately, we didn't get to spend that much time together because his life was taken. My dad, he was a producer, and we had a brownstone house that my dad and my uncle, they built a studio in the basement of it. When we moved, they kept that building, and my dad would kind of go up to New York and spend a couple days there and then come back to Jersey. So that was kind of like a routine. Beginning of the week, he's in New York. End of the week, Fridays, he'd come home. I remember it's like a movie. You're playing, and my mom gets home from work and she's like, hey, anyone hear from your dad? Call my dad, but there was no answer. So cousin calls, no answer. So finally someone calls the house, and that's kind of when the news broke. My mom's in the corner on the phone, and she just starts crying. She's like, what? And then plane just stops. Everybody instantly knew like something was wrong. He was shot and killed in the basement of the studio. I've never seen my mom like that. A little weird, just because it was just so much. I remember it being like deafening with crying and yelling. And then the car ride up to New York that night was like just the most quiet car ride ever. My mom, she was handling everything, and identified my dad's body. They started doing their investigation. This guy that we thought was my dad's friend come to family events and hangouts and cookouts and stuff like that, just turning out being doing the worst thing imaginable. So my dad thought he was a good guy, and my dad thought wrong. I'm not really sure how long it took, but from the incident of my dad being killed to it getting on America's Most Wanted, he went from New York to Florida, and it was crazy because it was an off-duty cop. It's kind of recognized like, hey, I see this guy at the gym all the time. It was like, good, they caught him, but my dad's still dead, he's not here.
There are very little things that can really bring you out of those depression or those mental losses.
I'm 10 years old, and I'm like, my family at home isn't whole. I don't feel good, so let me get out of this. Let me go to wrestling. Is there a workout we can do? Can I come over and hang out? So I found myself like not being home as much, just to try and escape that feeling. And wrestling was my escape.
the tragedies, the pains, the tears, the cold nights. A lot of those times, drilling and winning the match really gets you out of that bad home type of atmosphere. And for him to be thrown into this passionate sport of wrestling and to find himself in a much better trajectory than he was going is exactly what wrestling does. Wrestling saves lives. Wrestling gives you life.
I have my own kids now and I'm still processing it. Like, well, I gotta make sure I spend as much time or be present, because you never know when it could be your last. I wrestled at Nebraska 2011 to 2015, and then as I was coming back to compete, this coaching position opened back up, and then I joined the staff. They always want to give back, just because so many people around me and in my community just poured into me, so why not pour into others and help them along their life and their journey. Coaching and competing is not a normal thing, especially in wrestling, just because of the time constraints. You have 30 guys in your team. You got to make sure they're not only being good athletes, but they're being good students. It's not easy at all.
A lot of people do come out of retirement for the sake of unfinished business. And if there is another opportunity for them to reach that glory or to grasp that gold, I believe a lot of these wrestlers will take that.
October 25th on the RAF 2 event, I'm wrestling Tajmuraz Salkazanov at 165. So for me, right out the gate, getting one of the top guys, I think this is going to be a good matchup.
James Green is a 4-time All-American. He's forever on the podium, but never at the top. And that's what makes him such a hard person to knock off, because he's so valid with his ability to always be there at the end.
Getting a win over Salkazanov not only lets me know that I'm where I need to be, but it lets the world know that James Green is ready to compete for the world title. Looking back, I think my dad, he'd be really happy. The fact that I'm still wrestling, even outside of that, the fact that I went to school, I went to college, I think those are the things that he would appreciate the most. And obviously wrestling is just a bonus, but I think he'd be pretty happy, and to see that I'm still very much excited about it as I was when I was 6 years old. I'm still giving my all.
Tickets are available now. Go to Ticketmaster.com for details.